There you have it. Now that's human sexuality for you. It's not just black and white. It's a lot more complicated than that. And you want to know something more compelling than this? She stopped and then said, no human is truly 100% heterosexual. What? How can that be? I know of men that have never had sex with other men, and they were always faithful to their wives. Oscar replied right away. That they never did it doesn't mean that they never thought about it. For what humans think and what humans do, for the most part, are two completely different animals. Plus, I never said there were no humans who were 99% heterosexual, just not 100%. And by the same token, nobody's really 100% heterosexual or homosexual. Maybe 99%, but never 100%. I don't believe you. After all, you are the devil, aren't you? How can I believe you? Well, why don't you take yourself as an example? Were you ever attracted to a woman's body, sexually? Satan replied. Oscar just turned his pupils aside and thought to himself, yes, maybe once, but that could have been anything, just a quirk or something, Oscar replied. There you have it. Your 1 or 2% heterosexuality was taken. But I never really thought about having sex with a woman, Oscar added. It's only 1 or 2% in your case. Don't expect it to make any miracles, but it's there nonetheless. Now apply that to the ones they call themselves 100% straight. They also had homosexual fantasies in their lifetimes, perhaps one or perhaps twice, or as for the majority of the population, a lot more. Why do you think guys like muscles? Just to impress women? Deep inside they also like to impress other men. Because at the end, if men were not attracted to muscles, they wouldn't work so hard at them. This is due, of course, to a species that comes with both the X and the Y chromosomes. The divinity of the male and the female personification in one species. A creation made in the image of God, in the image of perfection. Satan finished in a sarcastic and almost upset voice. To be able to recognize beauty in the same gender doesn't automatically make you gay, Oscar interrupted her. But it doesn't make you automatically straight neither. For at some level you are attracted to what you see. You're not indifferent to it. Men will die before accepting other men's good looks or good physiques. But deep inside, at some level, they like what they see. Maybe the other guy's abs, maybe the biceps, or maybe the broad shoulders. And that's only half of it. For sexual preference, being an attraction force of nature, may change dramatically, back and forth, and back again, throughout a lifetime. Just as once when you were a child you liked vanilla ice cream better, and now you might prefer lemon ice cream instead, so can sexual preference change as well. Remember, sexuality is controlled by the forces of attraction, not the other way around. And the laws of attractions, like anything else in creation, is not set in stone. It's actually very flexible, very fluid, and it's based on experience and the right time, more than anything else. How can I believe you? After all, being who you are, Oscar asked. Fine, don't believe me then. But why don't you ask somebody else? Why don't you ask yourself that question? Right, ask your conscience that question, that inner voice inside of you that never lies and cannot lie. Come on, go ahead, be my guest. Oscar stood quiet. He then closed his eyes and stood like that for a moment. He remembered his experiences throughout his life, and he thought about all the things he had heard and all the things he had known. Nothing will give him a definite answer. He then quieted all his thoughts until his mind was blank of all noise. Is it true? He then asked. Is it true that nobody is 100% heterosexual? Is what I'm saying the truth? He asked himself. After a minute or so, Oscar opened his eyes and looked at Satan, who stood there, still in mid-air, floating as if she was standing on something solid and invisible, with an unforgettable smile on her face.